Hey guys, it's Lance at Mac Sound Solutions, and do you have a MacBook Neo and you're running out of storage because you bought it with the 256 gig internal SSD? That fills up so quickly, so I have a fix for you. This might be the best deal in tech right now, currently on sale for under $60. A USB-C MagSafe hub. This is the perfect hub to go along with your MacBook Neo or your MacBook Air. You can easily just add another terabyte of storage. No tools needed, and this hub gives you all the ports you need: HDMI, one 10 gigabit USB-A and one 10 gigabit USB-C, 2 card readers, and it's even got power input up to 100 watts, so you can keep your Neo charged. And you don't have to be crazy like me and connect it to your screen with the MagSafe magnet. Of course, it can just sit on your desk, but it's pretty cool that you can, and it's not going to fall off. The magnet is super strong. Alright guys, I'm just going to cut to the chase. There are several YouTubers who are recommending this enclosure with the Neo, and they're right, but they missed one major thing, and that is what I'm here to tell you about. And I have links down below in the video description on my guide on how to move your home folder from your internal SSD to an external SSD, which is what this is going to be used for with the Neo, and that's why this is perfect. You're going to move all your user data from the internal small 256 gig drive to an external 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte, whatever you can afford, right? So you're probably thinking to yourself, man, I should have bought that 512 gig model. And yes, you probably should have, because it was only $100 more to double your storage. But with this setup, if you get a 1 terabyte NVMe, you can pick one up for about $170. That's going to give you 4 times the amount of storage you have right now, and you're going to have all those extra ports that your Neo doesn't currently have. So what's a good NVMe to do this job? I think these team groups are a good middle ground at the price right now. I mean, they don't have DRAM, but they do have some SLC cache, and I was able to copy 200 gigabytes with no drops in speed, no thermal throttling, and it kept a steady 950 megabytes per second write speed. I've used them for this use case, and it worked fine with my Mac Mini base model. So, you know, it comes down to how much money you want to spend, but the reality is if you get a Samsung 990 Pro, you're never going to hit the read and write speeds that these have to offer, but you will still benefit from the DRAM and the SLC cache, which in the long run can give you an edge when running this as your external home folder drive. And when you upgrade to a faster Mac down the road, you'll have a faster NVMe to pair with it. So this little ACASIS for 54 bucks, it's got the ports you need, it's got an NVMe slot, and it's got the correct speed to pair with your MacBook Neo. As you can see, I can just open my screen, and there it is. And I haven't had one disconnect with this drive. You got to use a good 10 gigabit rated cable, or I'm using a Thunderbolt cable. They give you one of these, but then you got to have it down lower, and you know, it'll work, but it's going to be tight for opening and closing your MacBook. So I just have a regular length one. It works really well, and it has a built-in fan which you can turn on and off. Maybe you can hear that, but it is quiet. It's audible, but it is very quiet. So just to be clear, I'm using my MacBook Air, as you've probably noticed already. I'm not using a MacBook Neo, but this is why this enclosure is specifically perfect for the Neo, because it's 10 gigabit, and the Neo only has one 10 gigabit port and one USB 2 port. So you want to connect the ACASIS with the USB 3 USB-C port and use the USB 2 USB-C port for charging. But the ACASIS also has a power input, so you can literally charge and use your hard drive with a single connection to that USB 3.0 port. So I just attached a MagSafe magnet onto the back of the screen, and you can take this off with a little alcohol. It's not going to leave any marks, not going to ruin your screen, but it stays on there really well. It's really solid. It's not going to just fall off. So I love this little enclosure. I've been using it with my MacBook Air, and I record multi-tracks to it. It's very diverse. It works with any Mac, of course, and a PC. Also works with your iPhone and your iPad. And here is the AmorphousDiskMark test I ran on the ACASIS enclosure connected to my MacBook Air, and it has the team group NVMe inside it, and you can see I'm getting close to 1,000 megabytes megabytes read and write. But as the tests go down to these smaller files, it really is quite a bit slower than the internal drive. But in day-to-day usage, just using your home folder on the external drive, I don't think you're going to notice a difference. So we're just going to talk about RAM for a second, because the MacBook Neo only has 8 gigs of RAM, which is not a lot these days, and I'm using my MacBook Air as an example. But what I've done is loaded up with a huge amount of YouTube videos playing back at 4K, all in separate tabs in Safari. Each one is eating close to 1 gig of RAM. So I've got 16 gigs of RAM in my MacBook Air, and as you can see, I have now gone into swap memory usage. And what that means is there's not enough RAM to play back all these videos, so the Mac is going to start writing to the internal SSD. And with the Neo having 8 gigs of RAM, you're going to be using swap memory quite often. So the point I'm making here is it's better to leave your internal SSD open, not clog it up with all your user data, so the operating system can breathe and there's plenty space available for the swap memory. So using the ACASIS as your external home folder drive is a good way to go with the Neo. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, give me that thumbs up, and I got a couple of cool videos coming up where I'm going to be talking about a new eGPU. I'm going to be testing it out with a mini PC and with my Mac Mini. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you on the next Mac Sound Solutions video.